दोस्तों, काफी दिन के बाद आज मैं आपके समक्ष आया हूँ। आज भारत के न्यायिक इतिहास में बहुत महत्वपूर्ण दिन है। आज सुप्रीम कोर्ट में अर्णब गोस्वामी द्वारा दायर की गई याचिका पर फैसला आया है। ये फैसला बहुत ही महत्वपूर्ण है। अगर आप इस फैसले को पढ़ना चाहते हैं तो आप सुप्रीम कोर्ट की वेबसाइट में जाकर के लेटेस्ट जजमेंट क्लियर करें और उसमें जाकर क्रिमिनल एप्लीकेशन नंबर 742/2020 क्लिक करें, आपको ये जजमेंट मिल जाएगा। ये जजमेंट इसलिए महत्वपूर्ण है क्योंकि इसमें पर्सनल लिबर्टी के बारे में बहुत ज़्यादा एम्फसाइज किया गया है। सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने इस जजमेंट को ग्यारह सेक्शन में बांटा है, A to K, और इसमें सबसे महत्वपूर्ण सेक्शन है I, J, जिनको पढ़ना बहुत जरूरी है। मैं आपको I सेक्शन पढ़ के सुनाता हूँ। I सेक्शन की टाइटल है प्राइमा फेसी इवैल्यूएशन ऑफ FIR एंड ग्रांट ऑफ बेल। दिस सेक्शन स्टार्ट विद पैरा 45। पैरा 45 में सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने कहा है कि हाई कोर्ट ने प्राइमा फेसी केस के संबंध में जो FIR दायर हुई है उसको लीगली अप्रिशिएट नहीं किया है। सुप्रीम कोर्ट बोलता है कि इस केस में अबेटमेंट ऑफ सुसाइड बनता ही नहीं है, क्योंकि जिन लोगों ने सुसाइड किया है उनका और आरोपियों का, जैसे कि अर्णब गोस्वामी या दूसरे हैं, उनके साथ कोई डायरेक्ट इंटरेक्शन नहीं हुआ है। इस आधार पर सुप्रीम कोर्ट बोलता है कि सेक्शन 306 ऑफ IPC इस केस में नहीं लगता है। सुप्रीम कोर्ट 56 पैरा में अपना निष्कर्ष निकालता है, जिसको पढ़ना बहुत जरूरी है और ये अंग्रेजी में है। तो जो दर्शक हिंदी समझते हैं उनसे मैं माफ़ी चाहता हूँ, वो इसको पढ़ें और हिंदी में समझने की कृपा करें। Now, in the backdrop, it becomes necessary to advert briefly to the content of the FIR in the present case. The FIR recites that the spouse of the informant and had a company carrying on the business of architecture, interior design, and engineering consultancy. According to the informant, her husband was over the previous 2 years having pressure as he did not receive the money of work carried out by him. The FIR recites that the deceased had called at the office of the appellant and spoken to his accountant for the payment of money. Apart from the above statement, it has been stated that the deceased left behind a suicide note stating that his money is stuck and following owners of respective companies are not paying our legitimate due. Now, it's very important. Prima facie, on the application of the test which has been laid down by this court in a consistent line of authority which has been noted above, it cannot be said that the appellant was guilty of having abetted the suicide within the meaning of section 306 of IPC. These observations we must note are prima facie at this stage since the High Court is still to take up the petition for quashing. Clearly, however, the High Court, in failing to notice the content of the FIR and make a prima facie evaluation, abdicated its role, function, and jurisdiction when seized of petition under Section 482 of CRPC. The High Court decided the legal position that the jurisdiction to quash under Section 482 has to be exercised sparingly. These words, however, are not meaningless incantation, but have to be assessed with reference to the content of the particular FIR before the High Court. If the High Court were to carry out a prima facie evaluation, it would have been impossible for it not to notice the disconnect between the FIR and the provision of Section 306 of the IPC. The failure of High Court to do so has led into adopting a position where it left the appellant to pursue his remedy for regular bail under Section 439 of CRPC. The High Court was clearly in error in failing to perform a duty which is entrusted to it while evaluating a petition under Section 482, albeit at the interim stage. इसके बाद हाई कोर्ट पैरा 57 में कह रहा है कि अगर कोई पटिशन 226 आर्टिकल में हाई कोर्ट के सामने जाती है तो हाई कोर्ट को क्या करना चाहिए। पहली बात कह रहा है the nature of alleged offense, the nature of the accusation and the severity of the punishment in the case of a conviction. Whether there exists a reasonable apprehension of the accused tampering with witness or being a threat to the complainant or the witness. The possibility of securing the presence of accused at the trial or the likelihood of accused fleeing from justice. Antecedents of and circumstances which are peculiar to the accused. Whether prima facie the ingredient of the offence are made out on the basis of the allegation as they stand in the FIR, and lastly the significant interest of the public or the state and other similar consideration. इसके बाद हाई कोर्ट सुप्रीम कोर्ट आगे जाकर के बोलता है कि जो सेक्शन जे में मेंशन किया है वो बोलता है कि ह्यूमन लिबर्टी इज ए प्रेशियस कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल वैल्यू which is undoubtedly subject to regulation by validly enacted legislation. As such, the citizen is subject to the edict of criminal law and procedure. Supreme Court आगे बोलता है Section 42 recognizes the inherent power of the High Court to make such order as necessary to give effect to the provision of the CRPC or prevent abuse of the process of any court or otherwise to secure the end of justice. Decision of this court require the High Court in a high courts. This is directory in exercising the jurisdiction entrusted to them under Section 482 to act with circumspection In emphasizing that the High Court must exercise this power with a sense of restraint, the decisions of this court are founded on the basic principle that the due enforcement of criminal law should not be obstructed by the accused taking recourse to artifice and strategies. The public interest in ensuring the due investigation of crime is protected by ensuring that the inherent power of the High Court is exercised with caution. That indeed is one and is a significant end of the spectrum. The other end of the spectrum is equally important. The recognition of Section 482 of the power inherent in High Court to prevent the abuse of process or to secure end of justice is a valuable safeguard for protecting liberty. The Code of Criminal Procedure of 1898 was enacted by a legislature which was not subject to constitutional right and limitation, yet it recognized the inherent power in Section 561. Post-independence, the recognition by Parliament of the inherent power of the High Court must be construed as an aid to preserve the constitutional value of liberty. The writ of liberty is run through the fabric of Constitution. The need to ensure the fair investigation of crime is undoubtedly important in life because it protects at one level the right of the victim, at a more fundamental level the social interest ensuring that crime is investigated and dealt with in accordance with law. On the other hand, the misuse of the criminal law is a matter of which the High Court and the lower court in the country must be alive. In the present case, the High Court could not even have cognizance of the specific ground which was raised before it by the appellant, and that he was being made a target as a part of series of occurrences which have been taking place since April 2020. The specific case of the appellant is that he has been targeted because his opinion on his television channel are unpalatable to authority. Whether the appellant has established a case for passing the FIR is something on which the High Court will take a final view when the proceedings are listed before it. But we are clearly of the view that in failing to make even a prima facie evaluation of the FIR, the High Court abdicated its constitutional duty and function as a protector of liberty. Court must be alive to the need to safeguard the public interest in ensuring that due enforcement of criminal law is not obstructed. The fair investigation of crime is an aid to it. Equally, it is the duty of court across the spectrum, the district judiciary, the high courts, and the Supreme Court to ensure that the criminal law does not become a weapon for the selective harassment of the citizen. Courts should be alive to both ends of the spectrum. The need to ensure the proper enforcement of criminal law on the one hand, and the need on the other hand of ensuring that law does not become a ruse for targeted harassment. Liberty across human era is as tenuous as it can be. Liberty survived by the vigilance of her citizens on the cacophony of media and in the dusty corridor of courts alive to the rule of and not by law. Yet, much too often liberty is a casualty when one of these components is found wanting. Now, इसके बाद सुप्रीम कोर्ट आगे चला जाता है और सुप्रीम कोर्ट बोलता है कि बहुत सारे केसेस जो लोअर कोर्ट में डिसाइड होने चाहिए थे या हाई कोर्ट में डिसाइड होने चाहिए थे वो सुप्रीम कोर्ट पे आते हैं। इंडिया में आम नागरिक के पास इतना रिसोर्सेज नहीं होता है कि वो सुप्रीम कोर्ट तक जा सके और इस चक्कर में वो वर्षों जेलों में सड़ता रहता है। तो इंडस्ट्रियल सुप्रीम कोर्ट का कहना यह है कि हाई कोर्ट या लोअर कोर्ट एफआईआर के बारे में प्राइमा फेसी भी बनाए और जहां पर भी संभव हो वहां पर पर्सनल लिबर्टी का ध्यान रख करके बेल दें। आज एक और जजमेंट आया है जो बॉम्बे हाई कोर्ट ने कंगना रनावत के केस में पास किया है। अगर मौका मिला तो मैं कल उस केस के बारे में आपको बताऊंगा जहां पर हाई कोर्ट ने स्टेट गवर्नमेंट और बॉम्बे म्युनिसिपल कॉर्पोरेशन को काफ़ी लताड़ लगाई है। आप मेरे वीडियो को शेयर करें, मेरे चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करें और लाइक करें, जिससे कि मुझे आगे भी वीडियो बनाने की मोटिवेशन मिलती रहे। धन्यवाद। थैंक यू।